Hello, everyone, and hope you're all having an amazing day or had an amazing day, depending on your current time zone. So, today I'm going to talk a little bit about FSGS and how it's affecting both my daughters, or how it affected my oldest daughter primarily, and just a little bit of how it's impacting my youngest daughter. With FSGS, it's a form of kidney disease that causes damage or scarring to the glomeruli, which is the kidney filtration. Unfortunately, that can impair the kidney's ability to filter waste, which can lead to kidney disease, kidney failure, dialysis, or kidney transplant. It all depends, right? It could just be minor damage to the kidney, or it can cause severe damage to the kidney, which can be from one spectrum to the other. And this can happen whether you're a child or whether you're an older adult. So it's really it is scary when you find out that you do have FSGS, because you just don't know how it's going to pan out for you, because every single person it affects is very, very different. So hello. For those of you guys that are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kathy. For my seasoned subscribers, welcome back. On Mondays, I do videos all about fashion, accessories, just fun things that I enjoy doing to keep my mind off of the second half of the week videos, which are all about my two girls and their journeys with their battles against TSC and FSGS. TSC being tuberous sclerosis complex, or tumors that can grow in any major organ throughout your body, and FSGS being a form of kidney disease that causes damage to the glomeruli, which is the kidney filtration, which can lead to kidney disease, kidney failure, kidney transplant, or kidney dialysis, depending on the disease's progression. So if you're interested in either or, please hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you can be notified on all of my latest videos. And please don't forget to hit the like button and comment below. Let me know what you think of today's video. And let's get started. And by the way, I've reached over 4,000 subscribers. I'm so excited and so thankful for all the support. I really am very fortunate to be a part of this YouTube world and able to get our message out there and kind of give you guys our journey battling these two very difficult diseases, unfortunately. But at least we can share our journey, and hopefully it can help you in your future endeavors. So thanks again, and yay! Okay, so what causes FSGS? Unfortunately, there's not a lot of confirmation as to how you get FSGS. It can be secondary to diseases like diabetes or sickle cell disease. Sometimes even obesity can cause FSGS, or even genetic factors, which is how my two girls got it. Most individuals with FSGS, they have very little symptoms. We were fortunate enough that my oldest daughter did end up having symptoms, which is considered nephrotic syndrome. Those are like swelling of the hands, the legs, or the feet, swelling of the hands, the feet, the face even, or your eyes. She also was having, when she would wake up in the morning, she was throwing up. She was also having protein in her urine, which we ended up finding out, which was probably the way that we finally confirmed that she had FSGS, was because of her high protein in her urine. And then we ended up taking her to go get checked, or have a thorough check through and at her doctor. So that's when once she did the actual biopsy of the kidney, that's when it was finally confirmed what she had. And that's when we had to go in and get me ready to give her kidney, because she was at the end of her kidney life, which was terrifying, obviously, because no parent ever wants to have to deal with their child having to have a kidney transplant, right? But it was better than her having to have dialysis. So a lot of times, the ways that most nephrologists actually treat or try to manage FSGS, they'll try to give you medications like to lower your blood pressure, to manage your cholesterol, and these two things are key factors when it comes to trying to manage your protein, right? Changing your diet, trying to reduce any type of pressure, or any type of damage to the kidney is such a huge factor in managing something like FSGS. Unfortunately, there isn't a cure. FSGS is just something that if you have it, you have to try to manage it, and you have to try to stop it from progressing into full-blown kidney disease. When we found out about FSGS, it was already too late for my oldest daughter. She had to go in and get a transplant. So what ended up happening was, once we found out she was at the end stage of her kidney life, I ended up getting tested, and I ended up going into getting all this blood work done. I had to make sure that I tested good in order to confirm that I was a candidate for her, and to make sure that she was able to get my kidney. So thank goodness that everything worked out for us, and I ended up being a pretty decent match, actually. It was pretty high up there. The only reason her father couldn't was because he was the one that was carrying the FSGS and the TSC gene. So she unfortunately could not she was unfortunate and was not able to get it from her father, but it was okay because I ended up being a match for her. So a little bit about FSGS. It actually causes the scarring of the glomeruli, which whenever anything that has to do with the kidney, especially the filtration of the kidney, which is, it pretty much cleans up your blood, your waste, right? The waste from the blood. So if there's scarring on that glomeruli, which is what helps with the kidney filtration, that of course is going to start causing damage to your kidney, and you're going to be in a bad situation, no matter what, because the kidney is such an important part of your body, and it's so important to keep your kidney healthy as possible, because it literally is your lifeline. So whenever you lose your kidney, you will have to go in to get dialysis, no matter what, unless you're able to get a kidney transplant. When it comes to kidney transplants, this is something that I've spoken about a million times. I was fortunate, or she was fortunate enough to be a match to me, and she was able to get my kidney, but she lost it in 2 years because she ended up getting meningitis. So when I try to kind of talk about all of our journeys and all of our stuff that we go through, it's really, really important to help people understand the value, or how valuable your kidney is. And I know that a lot of people, even in talking to my family and sometimes some of my friends, they don't realize how important the kidney is. People a lot of times kind of, take it for granted until something actually happens, and then they end up finding out that, wow, I didn't even realize that. That's what ended up happening to my daughter. So when we found out, it was a big struggle finding out that my daughter had FSGS, because it's not very easy to identify. My doctor originally thought that it was NQ1 nephropathy, I think it was called. And then after further testing, it was not until like our third or fourth nephrologist that we ended up confirming that it was actually FSGS, which makes a lot of sense. Once we did all the research and we ended up looking into it, it made complete sense to us. And definitely something that you don't realize until it's here and there in your face, right? And the realization is the reality of something hitting so complex, and having to deal with something like that could affect your child is detrimental to just our overall way of being, period. Now, for my youngest, she does have a 50% chance of getting FSGS, because she does have the gene from the father. Obviously, she doesn't have it from me, so it was kind of like a hit or miss too with my youngest. She was losing protein here and there. Recently, she has not been testing. She has not been losing protein in her urine. Thank goodness. She did get a scan done recently, and her unfortunately, the cyst in her pancreas is at about 4 centimeters, so it did go up a little. But I recall, I thought the last time that we checked her, it was at 5 centimeters, so I don't know how it went down to 4 centimeters. I'm not sure, but yeah, it did go up a little. I'm sorry, I think it went down, honestly. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, I'll go see, I have to go see a surgeon and then talk to him about it, see what he thinks, because it was kind of weird. I don't know. But anyway, I never know with my girls. They always keep me on my toes, so. So with my youngest, she has had protein loss, and then recently, though, she has not been having protein loss. So this is kind of like the ups and downs that I was talking about when it comes to FSGS. We've been trying to adjust her food intake. She loves to eat like all the fun stuff that all the kids love to eat, so it's a battle here and there. We have kind of pulled back, and I try to do all the kidney health diet, so sometimes she's okay with it, sometimes she doesn't like it, because obviously there's some dinners that do taste better than the other ones, and I try to do as best as I can to get her to enjoy the food that I give her, but I know that it is a struggle. I'm going to be honest with that, right? Now, she has not been put on any type of blood pressure medications or any of that stuff. I know she does take different types of medications, and they're hopeful that a lot of these medications are probably helping to manage that protein level in her urine so that she's not having any extended issues with her organs. So from the actual scan that she had, they didn't see anything as far as any other issues with her kidneys or any other part of her GI system. So that was great. The only one right now is that we have to focus on is her pancreas. I was happy that at least her kidney looks good. So that's really, really important to us. We always want to make sure that her kidney is always in tip-top shape and that she's not having any issues there. Unfortunately, when it comes to FSGS, I mean, if you have one child with FSGS, the likelihood of you having a second or a third one is pretty high. I have two. I literally have two kids, and both of my kids have FSGS. So it's unfortunate because it is such a rare disease and it's such a difficult disease to manage. And look at how differently it hit both of my girls. My oldest daughter was having issues with her kidneys since young. I remember her having all these issues, and my youngest, she's been doing okay. She hasn't had as big of a struggle as my oldest. So it's, though she's had her challenges, don't get me wrong, my youngest has had her challenges when it came to protein levels, because trust me, there was a period of time that I thought that I was going to have to deal with another kidney dialysis, that I was going to have to deal with another child on dialysis, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to make it. Let's put it like that, right? But, we did get through it. We're still getting through it. Don't get me wrong. We're still... big part of this, big part of understanding our diagnosis. I guess that's probably a better way to put this. Is understanding that every child is different. Every life is different. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. I understand that, this is a lifelong disease for each of my girls. Though my oldest has a kidney transplant that's working very well, we still have to keep track of it all the time to make sure that her kidney function stays good. Now, as for my youngest, she's dealing, with her issues right now, and we're trying to get her seizures back in order. She's doing good. She hasn't had one for a couple of days, so that's great. But we got to keep track of that stuff, right? So it's nonstop. It's nonstop doctor's appointments. We just went to the doctor's 2 days ago. So for my youngest, and she has to go get her skin checked. She has to go back to get her eyes examined. So everything, her dental, eyes, or her heart, she has to go get her heart checked again. So this is nonstop. So when I tell you this, it's, and her lungs. I got to get her lungs checked because she's going through puberty, and the lungs, TSC, it's all a part of that. So we have to make sure that she's being checked out. So it's insane. It's pure insanity, but I understand it. So my eyes are wide open to this, and any little thing, I'm always kind of like grilling her, or so what happened here? What happened there? My oldest is the same way. Like, she'll tell me, hey mom, these are my numbers. I'm more concerned about these numbers, and I'll explain to her, hey, but you just had the surgery. You just did this. You just did that, and she's like, okay, and then she'll check her number. She'll call her doctor, and she's like, all right, you were right. So and the reason why is because I've done a lot of reading and I've done a lot of observing, and I know my girls. I do. I know my girls, and I know their numbers whenever they go through something. I understand what's going on, and I'm just aware of it. Not that I know everything. It's just that I'm aware. All right. So yeah, struggle is real. All right, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out to check out my video. Thank you again for all of you guys that have subbed to my channel. Please remember, if you have not subbed, please do. It's free, 100% free, and I just cannot express how thankful I am for all of you guys taking, even if you have just a few seconds of your time checking out my videos and really supporting my channel. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you do. And thank you again, and please don't forget to focus through and evolve. Ciao.